June 15th. Jeffrey B. here. Good to be here with you. This is part two of getting to know yourself. Last time we talked about basically what are some of the reasons why you don't know yourself. So we backtracked a little bit, went back to origins. And this one I want to talk about. Um, One way to get to know yourself is to look at those things that you tried as a kid and they were not encouraged or they were shamed or belittled or criticized or whatever. And for example, when I was a kid, I was making clothes and socks for my little G.I. Joe men. They were not little, actually. They were about 12 inches, about 1 foot tall. And I would transform them into something different. I might take one a hero or GI Joe and turn him into a cobra by making a mask for him. You put over his head, and I would stitch that together. So I liked to sew. I was like a tailor, and with a needle and thread, and I made socks for them. I saw that the men they didn't have they had these boots on, these rubber boots with no socks, and I was like, that hurts because I knew how it was to rub blisters on your feet, without having socks on and rubber boots or shoes. And I always wore blisters because sometimes I would not wear socks. And so I said, hey, I saw a need and I acted on that. And I started stitching together little socks for them. My mother did not like this. She was not happy that her son liked to sew because she saw that as feminine or girly, and there was this underlying sense of homophobia in my family. And I guess that just came from obviously the other generations, very old school, and they were just so scared that anything that had the appearance of gay or feminine was just completely poo-pooed, discouraged at all costs. So instead of encouraging that, I don't remember exactly what was said. She may have even shown me a little bit how to sew, but she didn't like doing that. And I think I asked, can I use the sewing machine? And I said, hey, I want to try that. Or, in other words, basically, that thing I'd like to do, or I showed some aptitude, was totally discouraged. And I'm really good at it. I'm still good at it, actually, sewing. I know how to repair my own clothes. I know how to sew patches onto things, make them look neat, designer brand, my own unique style of clothes. I'm pretty good at it, probably better than a lot of women, for sure. And, but like I said, this was not an encouraged behavior. Um, and it was kind of shunned, shamed, and that is not a good way to get to know yourself because you a child needs to have support in those areas that they show some aptitude at, but it was not encouraged. And so what we can do now, though, is take those activities that we showed aptitude in and then try to do those today more to see if it really is who we are. And I've played around with this a little bit, I have a little bit of a lazy streak or feeling too overwhelmed, and I don't like the long process. The last time I sewed, I repaired some underwear on the plane. Um, Coming to Thailand. I said, hey, this is a good use of time. It's 3 hours. Let's not waste the time. So I said, hey, let me get my underwear. And I started sewing it and repairing the hole there in the underwear. Um, and that was really cool. That turned out well. Actually, it really fixed them. And I've even fixed a pair of shorts that had a big cut in them. Somebody said, no way, you'll never be able to fix those. Yes, I did a couple of pairs of shorts like that. Sure enough, I fixed them and they came out well. They turned out well, really good. Um, Video games were not encouraged. I understand that. I was really good at video games, but there was no real outlet or no real career path forward for my parents to encourage me my video game playing. That wasn't encouraged. Dungeons and Dragons, creativity in any form was not encouraged. So what we can do now is we go in and we start to explore creative things. Like even later on, I did some music. That was not encouraged either. That was kind of laughed at or said, no, you can't do that, or you shouldn't be doing that. It's not right. You're not good at it, or just in general, just kind of shamed and um, yeah. So if you are going to shame your kid for trying things and being good at certain stuff, not encourage them to flesh that out and see if that's the right fit for them, then then find them something that they can be good at that you approve of. Don't just say no, that's no good, or that's no good, or that's no good. They could see I didn't like sports. They could see I didn't like basketball. I mean, totally wrong. Sorry. I loved basketball, but not on a team. I didn't like running track and I didn't like football. So they should have nixed those ideas and found something that I liked and that they were okay with as well. But it didn't happen. There wasn't anything there except being good at school, at studying. That was encouraged. I was good at it. That was encouraged. I kind of liked it too. I guess that was about the only thing that worked. But you can't be studying all the time. And so there've got to be other hobbies and stuff that need to be developed. My writing was not encouraged because when I wrote that very scathing diary entry at 17 years old, it was shamed, and I was basically like, oh shit, I better not write anything else now. So I kind of stopped writing a little bit at that time, because if I was going to write, I was going to get caught. My ideas were going to get exposed, and then I was going to be shamed and punished. So basically, all we can do today is try things that we appeared to be good at then. So experiment, for me, experiment with tailoring, sewing, creating clothes, fashion design, things like that. More video game design, maybe, or story writing, storytelling. Um, Things like that we can try, right? There are all kinds of different things we can do. And also feel free to explore new things we never thought we'd like before. I need to do a Muay Thai class. I've been putting it off and putting it off. I don't know why. Maybe I just don't want to spend the money. It's like roughly $17 to $20 for a 90-minute class. It'd probably be interesting and cool. I don't even have to do it. It's not an obligation. I don't need to, but I could try. And I may do that. I may do that during this week. Try something new, different kind of exercise, a class, a course, go back to school. I had a dream last night. I went back to school, I was working on a PhD. I don't remember what it was in, some kind of medical stuff. Yeah, something medical. Maybe it was even a doctor of education. I don't know. But going back to school, maybe that's something I need to do. Maybe my higher power is guiding me in that path. But also, please feel free to pray, meditate. Like this morning, I really don't want to meditate at all. I'm very tired, and I don't want to meditate. But I know I need to get my ass over there and do it. It's Saturday morning here. I probably need to. It's way better to go during the morning because the temple I go to, there's always tourists, even tourists coming into that temple in the afternoon. That sucks. So it's better to go in the morning where nobody's there. Just have that whole temple to yourself and meditate. So I guess that's all. Only advice I can give you is, those things that were discouraged, those things that were shamed, definitely re-explore those because there's probably something there that you need to try to do again, see if it's who you are, and of course, spending time with ourselves, dialoguing with parts. I didn't really get into that. Maybe we'll get into that more next time. Dialoguing with parts, different parts in there, the anger, the outcasts, the exiles. whoever they are, the sad parts, the wounded ones, the ones who want to die. Try music, for me, music was one. I'm trying more music now, making these videos, and blah 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 blah. So there you go. Good luck. Wish you all the best in this journey, and we'll talk next time. Okay, bye.